And we are back from the break. And the first thing that I want to ask the players is whether there's anything else that they want to do to prepare for or shore up their cover story of trading the materials, which I forgot to type in, and I will do that right now while you guys are thinking or discussing that.
I've a suggestion.
Brax? Yeah, go on.
Could we go through the local, is there like the equivalent of like a logbook of like local heraldry or anything like that? And then maybe we could come up with our own like colors to sell.
Yeah, I mean,
Something that, you know, give us a little bit of repute.
You can at least ask around kind of thing. Like if you want to either create a like a company that you're claiming to be, a trading company that you're claiming to be, or actually just like lie and pretend, like duplicate an existing one.
Braxon's going to look.
How many elves did we have on ship, other than the players that are coming with us?
Well, Nemeriel and Lenelius are the only elves on amongst your whole crew other than players.
Okay. I'm just asking, since Solas would agree on a procedure on how to Solas would cast basically seeming on everyone in order to, if we get stopped, that they don't notice that we have elves on board.
We're going to have to leave some people with the Battle Dolphin. So we might leave Numerial in charge of the Battle Dolphin. I don't know. That might solve that problem.
So Lenelius will still be available to captain your Battle Dolphin while you're away.
Yeah. So if he stayed on the Battle Dolphin, then he's not going to be in the way. He doesn't need any spells hiding him. Because
So
we could.
It would then be only player characters. Okay.
Well, we're not 100% sure that Numerial will stay out there, but we might do it that way. I haven't really decided yet, but like other people can say do that. Braxon's going to. Braxon wants to go around whoever deals with shipping companies.
Mm-hmm.
And see if he can find a shipping company that's gone out of business where they have the logbooks of ships that were trading ships that have gone out of business, where we can just like rip out the last page that says they've gone out of business and use like a ship's log as the fake ship's log of our ship and change the name of the ship on the nameplate. Maybe they don't have that, but he's going to go see if there is something like that.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to get a ship's log. You'd probably have to make one.
I mean, we can just make our own, since we can say that we are out of spheres merchants.
Yeah. Well, do you have enough time to write one? Because we want to be someone that's been in business for some time, and we've come from that sphere.
Copy some of from our own.
That's true. We could copy some stuff from our own, change the names of spheres, up the quantity of anything expensive.
But yeah, Solas, like I said, Solas would, with all the elves in the party and possibly Numerial if she comes with us, agree on procedure on how Solas would cast seeming on them each day to make them appear human.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily need to do it each day. How long does that last?
12 hours per casting.
Yeah, so even then, like, what's the casting time?
Casting time, it's just 5.
Yeah, so
but basically procedure on if if for some reason we are get dropped out of from spelljamming speed on how to proceed there.
Yeah, it could just
So
be a
we
case.
can get it as fast as possible. So when we are boarded, there's no sneaky stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, you could just say that anytime you drop out of spell jamming speed, all the elves get together and you cast a spell, and
Yeah.
And then it just depends on who's asleep and who's awake at any given time when the ship drops out of spell jamming speed, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Braxon, so like, do you want to try to masquerade as an existing or former company, or do you want to? Are you just like looking at like trying to get ideas for other companies?
I thought if there was a company and we check where they've gone and they haven't been to this world, then we've got a cover story.
Because like the only things that you'd really be able to find here are ones that like there really isn't like a record exactly of ones that have gone out of business. You might be able to find like storefronts that have closed down that they were once operating, or ask around and find you know, like ask around in the taverns about companies that have gone out of business. But if you're saying that you're from out of sphere, you can just make something up and make up a flag.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So does anyone have an idea of a... Yeah, does anyone have an idea of a name and a flag that you want to create?
The Starlight?
Starlight Trading Company?
The Starlight Trading Company, and the flag could be of like a shooting star.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That would be an asymmetrical shooting star.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because that's actually like the holy symbol of Erebor.
Well, no, yours is more like a twinkling star, not a shooting star.
Well, it had to be asymmetrical.
Well, it is asymmetrical, but I mean, a shooting star is kind of going to be... It doesn't have to be asymmetrical, but...
I like the idea of a shooting star a bit more.
Okay. All right, so someone make a note of that, and you can get a flag manufactured for 10 gold pieces.
Could Solas use heraldry to design the flag?
Sure. You have heraldry?
Yeah.
All right. You don't need to make a roll for that. That's just that's like a like, so you're basically using your knowledge of heraldry to be like, all right, so proper design would be like going in this direction and with this amount
would be
and this amount of space and blah blah blah. So there you go. So
I think we paid for tabards for our crew that have the broken sword on. I know that Braxon got some continual light things made that have a broken sword on them. So we might need to do a little bit of redecoration in the ship.
You could just have your crew not wear the tabards.
Yeah. We'll leave them on the the dolphin, battle dolphin.
And you never got any made for your Herwady crew anyway, or your dwarves, or your GIF. So.
Right. Okay. I guess we'll get that done later.
All right, so the 10 gold pieces for the flag, and you'll get that ready to hoist. So the Starlight Trading Company is going to be what you're going to call it.
I do some market research on silk prices and glassware prices.
Okay.
Who's going to be the owner?
Because we're going to need to know what... We're going to have various levels of the same type, or is it all literally the same type of material?
In the sample cases, like the crates have the same thing in them, but the samples have like different stuff. So it's like you know, like one piece of each of different things for in the glass, and different colors and different.
Because I need to write a list on our like logbook of like, well, this sells for this price, this sells for this price. So that's why I'm doing market research to go around.
Okay.
Figure out what's worth what.
All right, so give me an intelligence check.
No, not appraisal.
No, because this is more like you're gathering information here.
All right. Intelligence. Nope.
Okay.
10 by 4.
Okay. So you're not really well versed on silk and stuff like that, and you're not sure if this is like the best place. So basically, you're not comfortable with the information that you're getting in terms of being able to use it for the purposes that you wanted. Is basically what.
Is there? As this person's, obviously, I'm doing market research. Are they consulting a book at all? Is that like knowledge they just know?
So basically, you're just like you're going around checking prices. Like what people are
but
selling
I'd be also
like
making inquiries, and I want to know, because I'm uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I was thinking about stealing a book that has this information. I'm seeing, are they referring to a book?
No, most of them are going off of memory and stuff like that.
All right.
So you do not feel confident in the information that like it's basically just you're not confident that you can turn the information that you got into better information for the logbook. Are you going to go out and buy a cheapo book to write all this in for a logbook?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I meant that as a party as opposed to just you. Is that?
I think so, yeah. And Braxon would probably ask Lafdul if he can make it look like it's 5 years old. Or however
that's
long.
Not something I can do.
However long we've got. Well, what I mean is, like, we bash it, kick it around a bit, scratch it. It needs to look like it's been opened and shut multiple times. Doesn't want to look brand new.
I see.
Isn't that Solas' specialty?
No, Solas' specialty is keeping the books in pristine condition.
Okay.
Well, we want to look like we want it to look like we're taking care of the book, but we want it to look like
it's been
had
used.
the book. Yeah.
So did I hear you, Seelan?
Yeah, I just have to find where that one was because I don't remember that spell off the top of my head.
Okay, so you think you have a spell for that? Okay. While you're looking, the inexpensive logbook is going to run you 40 gold pieces.
This is a company thing or mine?
I would say, probably company, but it's up to you guys.
I think it should be company.
Okay, so how old do you want this book to be?
Well, to fit in with our cover story. So,
because I can do up to 200 years.
Well, we're not 200 years old.
Let's see.
Is there a lower limit on the spell? We'll ask
it
that.
It doesn't state directly. It just says caster can cause an amount of non-living, non-magical matter to age dramatically. Matter can be aged up to 20 years per level of the caster.
Up to. So that basically does mean that you can do less time. Yeah, if you want to age it 5 years, you might want to wait until you get it written in. Yeah, get at least some of it should be written in first.
Yeah, I think that some of it should be written, and then you age it, and then we write some more in.
Basically, the oldest entries need to be written before it's aged.
Yeah.
Okay, but that'll definitely work.
I just need a flask of seawater and a piece of coal.
All right, that's easy.
Well, I think one of those is going to be easier than the other. You know.
Both of those are
Okay.
pretty easy to get within the amount that you normally pay for material components.
Okay.
I suggest that we have more than one person write in the book so that we can say that we're on like a third captain or something like that.
Well, I mean, keep in mind that you don't have to like.
We wouldn't be expecting these people to read the whole book.
No, but like you don't have to create an in-depth story to a certain extent. Like you can wing it in a situation based on what questions are asked.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
And,
just so long as you're consistent.
And how often they have actually gone through the logbook when we've been boarded?
Rarely ever.
Yeah,
but it's the part that we have a role play, but I'd assume if we're ever trading stuff, we go to the dockmaster. Here's what we've got in our inventory. Here's what we're selling.
Yeah, if we get asked a question and we're stuck, what someone can do is say, "Oh, I'm not entirely sure on that. I'd have to check the logbook," and then we don't get the logbook straight away. It's locked in. It's locked in the drawer and all that. And we go out and we go, was that 20 or was that 10? We look it up there.
I think some of that can be, you can wing that in a situation.
Yeah. It's just the logbook will back people up.
Yeah. So what you'd probably do is like you want it to go back 5 years as opposed to like something like 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, I think 5 years is kind of reasonable. It's like we're also like we're gonna have to. Braxon would like guess on how long it would take to travel between certain crystal spheres and stuff.
And just imagine seeing the sweat beads just appear on Solas's forehead, just going down. That's why it's desecration.
Solas, you are not currently researching anything?
Yes, not currently researching.
Okay. So, Braxon and Solas, do you want to spend the 3 days getting things written into the book?
Yeah.
Maybe having Finn periodically age it? Like you could do, like... write a bunch of stuff in it, age it a year, write some more stuff in it, age it another year. I think that would work. It would take a bunch of spells, though. How do you feel about that, Finn? And it might be more than you care for. It's up to you.
Well, I don't mind, but it is a 5th level spell, so only 2 per day.
Okay.
At the most.
All right, then I think that just doing like 2 agings over 2 days would be fine.
Like there were a few things that I wanted to do also before we leave this place.
Yeah, I mean you're not gonna. This isn't gonna be like an all-day thing. Logbook entries tend to be very brief anyway, so unless you really have something important to do, but so
okay, we're gonna keep this book and the cover story for later as well.
Braxon. Glau will help you out as well. So, Braxon and Solas, can you both give me intelligence checks? And you do have rerolls if you want to try to make sure that you're doing a good job.
I succeeded.
Do I do a reroll? Hang on.
You got 3 of them.
I do have 3 of them. I'm just checking my intelligence. Generally, if you have to check your intelligence, it's not high enough.
Or you just don't remember it.
14. Right. Is there a little me on this that I can click on to use macros?
Just
It's down the bottom, isn't it? Yeah.
roll a d20. I mean, I think if you click on the character sheet, it'll just work.
I've got a check intelligence thing that
Okay, fair enough.
that never was happy. Is there, do I get a bonus or anything, or just a straight roll?
There may be a bonus or a penalty.
You're not telling me.
Not
Okay.
telling you, yeah.
I'm going to take the re-roll.
Okay.
That looks like it may or may not be good.
That is
success.
that is a success. All right.
Since you need to roll under.
That is a
Okay.
success. All right.
So I do the other one in case I can get closer.
No, because this is just a success or failure.
Oh, okay. Let me remove my re-roll anyway.
Okay. All right. So, the three of you work together to fill in the logbook and have Finn age it, let's say, twice.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you, Finn? Not on the same day, but different days. Okay.
Braxon's going to also see if he can borrow multiple pens.
Well, you
making
could
the
use
right
different inks.
Yeah.
Quill.
And
Different inks, different quills, that kind of stuff.
you and Solas can each write in it, and if you want to have like an occasional entry from someone else, you could have Finn. Finn, do
Yeah.
you know how to write?
I don't have any specific proficiencies, but
Okay, then you don't know how to write. Well, if you don't have a reading-writing proficiency, then you can't... Yeah, also, you can't read. Let's keep that in mind.
okay.
That means he can't use scrolls, can he?
He can. Scrolls are not written in a normal language. Reading and writing is not required to use scrolls. Writing is required to write scrolls.
Maybe I need to give Finn some reading lessons.
That's up to him. You guys can discuss it if you want.
Solas is gladly gives lessons on reading, since it's basically his divine duty.
So you can basically just like occasionally get someone else to do some writing in it, as if like the first officer at times is writing in the log or something like that. So you just like are varying it up. I'm not too concerned. But you're pretty satisfied with your work when you're done making it look old.
Yeah, and we're gonna ask Lafdul for some stuff we can say we've sold. We might even put in some of the stuff that we've found and sold.
Right. So, and I was thinking about that, and it went out of my head. Lafdul, this time I do want you to roll an appraisal check, and this is more of a kind of a you're trying to come up with good numbers that you could put in there for what's reasonable for buying and selling based on costs and
Generalist
stuff like
knowledge, or is it specific knowledges? Because I have.
It's more applying your appraisal and trying to turn it into other things based on your like what you've been able to get sale price wise on things and stuff like that.
There's a tie-in with the artistic ability, but they're for those two categories, for stone carving related things or
it's more
jewelers
so
stuff.
basically you're just trying to apply what you know about appraising gems to what seems reasonable to put in for buying and selling goods that are outside of your area of expertise. And you're hoping that
I'm
it,
just doing a
it works.
general roll.
We can also make sure we put lots of gems in the trading.
Okay.
If you want.
Well, no, so the gem part doesn't matter. I mean, like, you can all, yeah, if you want to also say that occasionally you're buying and selling like gems, uncut or cut or something like that, jewelry.
Yeah.
That's fine too. But A1 definitely works. So you're satisfied with the numbers that you're putting in terms of buying and selling. It's like you're not sure if the prices you're putting in are correct, but the margins are good. Is basically your point of view. In terms of buying and selling, you're like, if I've got the price is right, this is profitable.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted the appraisal for.
We will be sort of going over this over dinner, so that everyone's hearing these fictitious places we've gone to.
All right.
Fictitious places like a Rock of Bral.
Well, yeah, I mean they don't have to be fictitious places, but you can draw from, and that's why I had Glau working with you. Is like, you know, so you're putting in, you've been to Realm Space, you've been to Gray Space, you've been to Way Space, all that kind of thing.
We did do some trading in Kryn Space as a cover, so we can just dump all that in there. All that was lower value stuff.
Yeah.
But we can dump that in there and put.
I mean, you know, like the main thing is you don't want to put in traded you know, 10,000 gold pieces worth of valuable silks at a tiny 200-person port that is extremely poor, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what the intelligence checks were for, and that's what having Glau along for was to help you out. Okay, so you've got your logbook, and so that's going to be solid there. The elves do deliver the 2 crates and the 2 sample cases, and then you'll need to go out and buy extra crates that you can put around, put illusions on, and stuff like that. So you're more interested in the specific sizes. So that's going to run you 20 gold pieces. Just making sure that you got the proper cases, and you probably get some stuff to put inside to just make it feel like it has some weight and it doesn't shift around and stuff like that. All right. Is there anything else that you want to do in preparation for your cover story, and specifically the preparation for the cover story? Or are you guys satisfied with that?
Different sales or anything like that?
I don't think we've got the broken sword on.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. OBS disconnected. And I'm not seeing any. Like, I'm having no issues with audio.
I'm just trying to reload Twitch at the moment.
Your stream's still up.
It is?
I had to
OBS has said that I've disconnected. And there's someone saying
somebody says the stream stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, now
Network
that I
error.
check it.
Okay, reconnected successful.
Yeah,
all right, viewers out there, can you confirm for me that I am back? Back, okay. I have no idea what that was because Discord did not disconnect. That's probably a Twitch thing. I do have some thunder outside, but that should have been all or nothing as opposed to that. Like, no dropped frames, just disconnected. So, yay. All right, but we're back now. Sorry about that. What were we saying? Stuff for further stuff that you wanted to do for the cover story?
Yeah. Well, Lafdul was saying he was wondering if we needed to change the sails, but I don't think we put anything like the broken sword on the sails.
Do we have like the hilt on the side of our ship? Or the...
Yes, you do.
We will have a nameplate on there. We'll need a new nameplate. Braxon will be doing a thorough inspection of the hilt and removing anything that says Company of the Broken Sword and stowing it on the blade.
I don't believe you're going to have, other than a nameplate, and because I don't think you guys have ever made like a flag or anything like that.
Well, Braxon did get those lanterns, that the continual light things that look like the broken sword.
Yeah,
symbol.
but you could always just say that you salvaged them from someplace. Like, I mean,
yeah, that's true.
It's not like someone's going to immediately be like, you say you're the company of the Starlight Trading Company, but you have these weird lanterns, and then no one's going to be like that. If they even noticed them. So the nameplates, that's going to run you 50 gold. Because you got to get them made on short notice.
Yeah.
And do you have a ship name? You just want to go with Starlight? Do you have something else in mind?
Starseeker?
Shooting
I
star.
don't know. The shooting star, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It should go with the name of the company.
All right, shooting
Star
star.
for the Starlight Trading Company.
And it should be. Well, if we're the shooting star trading company, or we could like pass this off as like this is the second or third ship would have like a different name. It could be the Comet, maybe.
I don't think you need to worry about it. You just need to come up with a name.
Yeah.
And it would be integrated into the log. I'm not too worried about that kind of thing.
We'll come up with a name that's not too long so that we don't spend so much time making the nameplate.
Right.
Well, the nameplate needs to be the same size as our existing nameplate because we're gonna like hot swap it.
No Celtic or Welsh names then.
It could be no. I mean, longer would be fine because it's a plate.
Yeah.
And also, like it. Well, it probably would actually be noticeable if it was shorter.
Yeah, they'll see the holes.
Shooting star is longer. Shooting star is longer than the hilt.
I mean, just fill the holes with a shaped wood.
Let's call it Comet then, because Comet's about the same size as the hilt.
All right, what is it? Shooting star or Comet?
Comet.
I think Comet is about the same length, so it will fit on the sign.
The hilt is longer than Comet.
The hilt is longer than Comet.
Yeah,
the
it's not
hilt.
Just hilt, it's the hilt.
Yeah.
What about the Comet?
Okay.
I mean,
So
there's
the
only
Comet.
like one letter.
The Comet is longer than the hilt.
Even Snar is longer than hilt, looking at the weights of the different letters.
Oh, that's how you're doing it.
So the Comet. Correct?
If we can fit the Comet on, we'll go for the Comet.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you want to do for preparation for your cover story? Or are you happy?
We have to think about what we're going to do with this flitter because this flitter is going to be sitting on the ship.
Yeah, but you also have the time that you get to the other planet to think about it.
Yeah.
Can we leave the flitter?
No, we're going to use
since we are going to be using the flitter when we go to the prison.
We're going to wrap up the flitter because it's cargo. Or we're going to strap it down when we get nearer to where we're going.
Can we put the flitter in the cargo hold?
No.
Bit too big.
Can I cast idea to see if this? I don't know if I think we might be overlooking something. Something, with the whole cover story that we may have just all missed out on.
You can.
I will do that during one of the days because I assume if there's multiple age objects, then there's time for me to get new spells.
Yeah. And it takes the elves 3 days to get you stuff anyway, and we'll go over what else you do in those 3 days in a moment as well. All right, so you cast idea, and you realize you probably also need a bill of lading. That's basically a separate document indicating the amounts of cargo you have specifically.
Then I guess we'll get one of those.
Okay.
Oh.
It's basically the quick check over and it's like someone will look over it and be like, okay, so you got 5 crates of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that checks out, kind of thing. So that's what you need.
All right.
Okay. Anything else? Nope.
There's personal things.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. I just want to make sure that we're done with the thing. All right, so Solas would be able to fill out the bill of lading pretty easily. He just, he can use his own paper and stuff like that, so it's not going to cost any extra. You just fill it out appropriately. Get someone to sign it, kind of thing, and stuff like that. All right. So in those 3 days, Leva, you are continuing your research, correct?
Correct.
All right, so you will be 3 days further on in that. Anyone else have anything that they want to do in those 3 days? If you want to take more time after those 3 days as well for other personal things, that's okay.
Yeah, I have few things.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one thing I can do.
First, I want to see the other mages in the town if there's someone who knows the Evard's Black Tentacle and learn it from them. By trading spells.
So you'll probably have to wait until after those 3 days because it takes a lot of time for you and Braxon and Glau to fill out the logbook, and because a lot of it is like brainstorming, thinking about it, and then like you want to get it ready before you put it into the you want to you're only putting stuff into the log when you're satisfied with it, so you're talking about it and discussing it and making sure that you got everything right before putting it in, kind of thing. So as a group you'd have to stay longer in town, so wait until after that and you guys can discuss that. Anything else that you have that would be able to be quick?
Well, if Finn is willing to help while I do work with the logbook, he could locate 100-year-old oak tree.
What do you need from the tree?
I need to hire someone to cut it down and make wands out of it.
Hang on.
Have you talked that through with Finn?
Finn, how do you feel about that?
I might be able to find him one that's dying.
I mean, I asked during last stream and he said fine then.
Right, but he didn't know about cutting it down. You just asked him if
I did mention that I need to make wands out of the tree.
There's still a difference between cutting it down.
You usually don't have to cut down an entire tree to make a wand. Usually a branch will suffice.
I want multiple wands, since one wand is one magic.
Well, trees tend to have a lot of branches.
Yeah.
All right.
I think.
Hold on. So what spell is this for?
It's for the last spell I learned. What was it named? Just a moment. But it's the spell that you can use to find out the recipes for magic items.
Alamir's Fundamental Breakdown?
Yeah, it's a wand made out of 100-year-old oak tree.
Okay.
I'm sure you don't have to whittle an entire tree down to a wand.
It will not be hard. Hold on. Finn, it will not be hard for you to find a 100-year-old oak tree outside of town. But knowing that he wants wands out of it, what are you going to be looking for? Because that might determine whether you can find one that matches your feel.
I'd probably look for a tree that is either diseased or maybe its trunk is split or something like that the tree would need to come down anyway.
Okay. Let me give a roll.
See, this is where Solas should have gone out with Braxon.
Okay, you are able to find a tree of that type. It is definitely a tree that, given some damage that it has sustained and pardon me, some disease that has affected it. Nothing that really affects the wood overall, but you do find a tree that could be brought down and would probably come down if a big nasty storm hit this area, which you don't actually know if that happens around here, but it is a tree that probably within 10 years would die anyway.
Okay. I can accept that tree then.
Okay.
And I wanted to spend some time out in the forest clearing anyway.
Okay.
How much? Search for some tea ingredients.
Okay. What is the search time for that?
8.
Okay, so you could probably get 2 days of that in.
Okay.
And you'd be keeping an eye out for that tree at the same time, kind of thing. So that's easy enough for you to do.
That's actually only going to be 1 success because it is a -3.
Okay.
It doesn't give me an easy way to put that in there.
All right. So you do get the 1 set of tea ingredients.
Okay. That's for Nevermind if you wanted to.
Okay.
Have a reference of it.
All right.
It's the brewing it that's going to be fun.
Oh yeah. Luckily, you'll have time between this until the next world to do the brewing. All right, so the nature of the wands is like they need to be made to exacting specifications and stuff like that because it is wands. It's not just any old thing.
Yeah.
So you would probably not be able to get these until you return. You could have someone cut the tree down and start making them.
I wasn't planning on having them before we return.
Okay.
Basically, I want to have a good craftsman make them and not have them made shoddily.
Okay.
How are you getting this tree back?
I mean, I'm hiring people.
He's going to hire someone to cut it down.
It's not like I'm going to be cutting it down.
Finn can easily just lead them out to the tree.
Yeah. And they'd cut it down, they'd take it back, and they'd carve the wands out of it, is essentially what he'd be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So...
How many wands are you getting out of a tree?
Give me 3d20, please.
Ooh. 100-year-old oak. Only 60 wands.
28.
Mm.
You can get 28 wands. So again, it's you're talking about like you need to make sure that you're not getting any of the diseased wood. You're not getting any of like anything that's brittle that's going to split when you do it. You obviously can't cross the grain. It has to be with the grain. Not every branch is going to be useful for it. So again, you're talking about pretty specific.
Yeah,
kind of conditions.
Basically, they have to be good enough that I could use them in creating a magic wand.
Yeah.
You gotta follow Ollivander's wand lore instructions on how to do it right.
So that's going to be 28 wands that you'll be able to get out of that. They will take the wood and use the extra wood for other things. And they are going to charge you 500 gold pieces for that.
Yep.
Because those wands need to be made very specifically. And it will take a month, which should be plenty of time.
Yeah, that's what I was calculating.
Okay. All right. Lafdul, were you saying that you might have something that you wanted to do?
Oh, it depends whether or not this place sells ox dung.
Yeah, you'll be able to get that. That's common.
Then I will be able to, during the 2 of the 3 days, I will be scribing a Cure Moderate Scroll.
Okay. Let's see. And yeah, you did ask about getting paper. You can get paper. Is that included in there?
Yeah, this has to be a new piece because the other 3 scrolls are all filled
Ah,
out.
okay, gotcha. All right.
I got unlucky with one of them that filled on 1 spell.
Oh, right. I need to roll to see. So you've got 2, right?
Yeah, I can only do 1 at the moment now.
Ah, okay.
Because it takes 2 days, and we've only been here 3 days, so, and I would have spent 1 day doing research and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so you get one of those scribed on, and you can definitely put at least another one on there as well.
Yay. All right.
Okay. Let's see. Finn, did you have anything else that you wanted to do?
Just attempting to make that Nevermind.
Okay. Probably going to need to wait
Definitely.
until after, because you spent so much time looking for
Okay.
it and stuff. So we'll see if you're spending more time here, if you have to wait until you're out once the ship leaves. Braxon, anything that you want to do personally?
Braxon wants to go and chat to Margoth. I don't know if Nanelius is back yet.
Lenelius will be back at this point, yeah.
Okay. Well, he's going to check with Margoth where she would rather be. She's very welcome to stay, because she's a passenger. She's very welcome to stay on the blade when we leave it off. We're going in to do something that's a bit sneaky. We can't take you all the way in, but if you wanted to go visit a planet, you'd be welcome to come in. But you might want to stay here where it's safer.
I will at least stay on the blade. Do you wish me to come along on the hilt? I'm happy to do so, although I do not know how the people in the sphere feel about goblins.
In some ways, it might be handy to have you with us. We're going to be acting as traders, and we're going to be visiting some people who are not very fond of elves.
Yeah, but there's no saying that they are fond of goblinoids either.
No, but
It does add to our
elves.
cover story.
Elves are known to not like goblinoids, so if we have
Also, they actually like elves so much that they want to own the elves.
I will note that Braxon is asking this, so...
Yeah. He'll say, we're going with people that like to capture elves. So they're not massively nice people. It could help with our cover story. So if you came with us, you'd be part of the trading company, and I could brief you on that. But we would possibly leave you with the hilt. The hilt's going to have a different name. If you wanted to come along, I should probably run this by the others.
You should also probably ask the elves if they have any idea how the Talangran Empire feels about goblins, because again, it might be a thing where just because they enslave elves doesn't necessarily mean that they are okay with humanoids, with goblin.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Braxton will tell her that he'll find out what the attitude towards her will be. Doesn't want to put her in any risk.
She will say that, like, if you want her along, she will come. If you want her to stay on the blade, she will stay there. So, she's perfectly content to help you out in that. I mean, she's a passenger, but she likes scrapes too. Yeah. She likes getting into scrapes.
Yeah,
she enjoys.
Okay.
She enjoys adventuring.
Well, Braxton will let the others know that he's floated the idea with her, and then he'll go looking for our contact, whoever it is, to ask some additional information.
Okay.
Or if he's still writing that book, he would see.
You would have time. You'd have time to head off and ask a question, and like if other questions come up, then they'd be included in this. I'm not too concerned on the exact like following a timeline for this stuff right now. So you check with the Elven Imperial Navy, and they will tell you that they don't know for sure, but they do know that there are orcs and goblins and hobgoblins that are like kind of living out in the no man's lands of the Talangran Empire, raiding and stuff like that. And if they had to guess, they kind of have the same opinion towards goblins that most other humans and elves and dwarves and stuff like that do. But they don't know for sure.
Okay, fair enough.
You would find out that there are halflings and dwarves and gnomes within the Empire as citizens, but basically they're not exactly equal. They tend to be lower class because dwarven and halfling and gnomish settlements were long ago conquered and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a human-centric society.
Yeah.
Right, but we don't come from there. We come from somewhere else. So.
Right. And, so it may be that they will have no,
Hey, she's a shopkeeper.
Yeah.
Lady. So she's an expert on buying and selling stuff.
Well, herbs and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Lafdul is an expert on buying and selling gems.
He's more of an expert on the value. There's a slight difference. But, I mean, if you have questions for her, you can ask her.
Yeah, but she could also be one of our trading people.
I mean, yeah, again, but, having a goblin as that, you'd be out of sphere, but
yeah,
it may still be looked at suspiciously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Again, some of it's going to depend on how much attention you want to draw to yourself.
Yep. Okay. I guess Braxon will tell Margoth that he'll put it down to the group because it's possible if we get stopped and inspected, we might end up getting into a fight, and we can't really afford getting into a fight on the way in. On the way out, we can get into a fight, but on the way in, we need to be squeaky clean.
Or at least completely destroy anything that attacks you.
Yes. There is that, yeah. Yeah.
Disintegrates at the ready.
Again, there's the joke about if no one lives to alert people to your presence, have you not just stealthed it,
I mean,
learn from Red Newell's mistakes, leaving people alive.
You could go loud and so loud that no one survives, and then no one knows that you're there. as they may say. But that's again, play it by ear.
That might involve an alignment shift.
Well, yes and no. Depends on again. It depends entirely on the situation.
On the circumstances. Yeah, if they try to kill us and we kill them, that's fine.
But so again, if you're trying to avoid attention, then having a goblin in your crew is gonna stand out.
Yeah. Okay.
On the other hand, so would having elves, and you do have plans for that.
Yeah. Well, this is where Braxon will put to the members of the company, and it's okay to have the NPCs around when he says this. He's going to say there is a risk, and maybe with Margoth as well. He's just going to say in front of everyone, there's a risk that certain people may draw attention to us. So we have to make a choice when we're going to split up the ship. Who stays with the blade? Who comes with the hilt? there is a risk to having Lenalius, Numerial, and Margoth with us.
Well, we put Margoth on the battle dolphin because he's also the only healer if we're taking Sunfire.
Yeah, you could do that.
Right.
Logically, you always leave a priest, or somebody can
Okay.
heal.
Okay.
Especially if they're potentially getting into a fight, if they're being
Yeah.
the dwarves. But that's a bit unfortunate. But
Braxon will say to Galal, I don't think we need to take you to the planet. I don't want you to get injured or captured or have any crazy people think that space owls are property or any weird stuff like that.
Understandable. That is understandable. I will be happy to stay on the blade.
You're not a planetologist, are you?
No, he's not.
Right. Okay.
I think we should only take the people we definitely need. So basically, party and someone to pilot the hilt.
Yeah.
Or the comet, as it is now known.
Well,
comet,
you'll need crew for that.
Yeah, for a crew, but I mean from the officers and such.
Okay. Well, you'd probably want 2 people to pilot that. If you're leaving the blade behind, they can just be docked at a citadel for the time, and someone only gets on the helm when they actually need to fly it, kind of thing.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna ask Lenalius to stay with the blade.
Mm-hmm.
With the hilt, it's going to be who we're going to take with us. So do we take Nor with us and leave Numerial? If we want 2 helmsmen, that means if we leave 2 helmsmen on the comet, then we have to have one of us fly the flitter.
I mean, everyone except you can fly the flitter.
Yeah.
You do have a potion that would allow Braxon to fly the flitter.
I thought we used
don't
that.
give him crazy ideas.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, Braxon.
Yes, land questionable.
Braxon's done spelljamming before with that magic item, and he quite liked it.
So I mean, again, to a certain extent, you can also decide on who you want to leave when you get to.
We can. Yeah, I mainly wanted to settle the thing of Margoth because I thought she could have been useful, but I don't want to put her at risk. She's a passenger.
All right.
Hey, maybe the Elven Imperial Navy might lend us a helmsman. You never know. We never asked.
We'd have to hire someone, really.
Yeah, you would have to hire someone.
Right? Yeah.
You would still have to hire someone just because, like, I mean, it would
They
be.
might allow us.
You know, you might get a discount or something like that if they're being lent from the Elven Imperial Navy, but they're not just going to give you one of their helmsman spellcasters in case they need them, kind of thing. I mean, every helmsman who's not on the helm and hasn't been on the helm has spells that can either take care of people after a fight or help them in a fight. So you're talking about extremely valuable people.
We're already borrowing Lenalius, to be honest.
Yeah,
and we're borrowing
really
him on the basis that he's working his passage back to Grey Space.
Right. The fact that he's trying to get back to his assigned post, and you are getting him closer to that, is essentially why he's able to continue to do this. If he was like from this sphere, yeah, he would be off the ship now, and you'd have to figure out other things.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, as I said, I think we should go with the minimum people when we start traveling with the Tecomet.
So when
Minimum
it's
crew.
time to go on the flitter, do you just want to take your own, like just the PCs then?
Yeah, I'd think that just
I think
the
so,
PCs.
yeah.
Because even if someone's used up some spells, you can still fly the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when we get down to that stage, if we were to take extra people to guard the flitter, that would mean that if we rescue this guy and he says you must bring this other person along, we might end up where we don't have the space. So it could be that this guy's our primary objective, but if as a secondary objective he says please bring these two people because they will be really useful for overthrowing this, that and the other, we can choose to bring extra people along.
All right.
So yeah, we'll have to choose who we're going to have on the ship. We'll want people that are decent fighters, but we also want people that are going to work with our cover story. I think pretty much any spacefaring race will be okay for crew.
I would say the gift, but it's going to get too cramped.
I think Braxon would have asked the same thing about. GIF might be fine because we've got high value cargo. Yeah,
Space.
Braxon's going to.
He means more along the lines of the fact that they're large creatures.
Oh, I know that. Braxon's going to have asked the same questions about all the races we've got in the crew. If there's any that the Empire has a particular dislike of.
So far as they know, they don't know of any issue that would arise from dwarves. They don't know of any issue that would arrive from her weighty either, but they don't even know if the Talangran Empire has much contact with her weighty.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible that some trading vessels have gone in with her weighty crew. They don't know,
Oh.
but there's no. So far as they know, there's no native Herwadi or populations of Herwadi on.
Herwadi generally serve as crew on Elven ships, don't they?
You're thinking of Hadazzi.
Oh. Right.
Yeah, the problem we might get with Hawaii is if these scuzzballs realise that they can make air, they might think, oh, we can enslave these guys and get them to make free air for us.
I mean, just don't make air when they are here. When we are.
Oh yeah. No, I fully would do that, but I'm just.
I mean, how else would they get the idea of it?
I will note that if you create fog clouds around your ship, your ship is harder to hit. Just as a side note.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can always just claim if someone questions about it afterward that it was just spells.
Yeah. About GIF, they will tell you that when the Talangran Empire first got access to space, there were apparently already GIF on board their vessels.
Right.
And they don't really know how that happened.
Okay.
So
maybe
the Talangran Empire does have a relationship with GIF, a fairly long-standing relationship with GIF, and they don't know many details about this.
So GIF might be good because it would. Yeah. Question. Rules-ish question, Ald. And you might say you don't know. If we were to meet up with the flitter and the comet, and then the comet immediately was to take off and was being pursued, and we did the fog thing, is that likely to interfere with the helm sight of the helmsman where they're trying to fly out the planet's atmosphere?
So the problem with doing that in a planet's atmosphere is that the fog basically would stay where it was. It wouldn't be dragged along with the ship unless you did it in the ship's air envelope.
That might still be useful.
Right, like basically you'd leave a fog cloud in wherever your ship was and then immediately leave the fog cloud, which...
Yeah.
unless unless a pursuing ship was right behind you, wouldn't be that much help, and the Haredi fog cloud isn't as big as one that one of your spellcasters could create.
Oh, right, okay. Because I was going to say we basically disappear behind a cloud if we flew in a straight line.
We wouldn't, because they'd look at this moving cloud and they'd say, "Oh, look, we just wait until it stops."
Yeah, but Ord said the cloud would stay still if we did it inside the planet atmosphere.
Right. So if you create a fog cloud, it stays where it was created, and move. I mean, it would move with prevailing winds. It would fall if that's what it's supposed to do. It depends on the exact details. But it wouldn't travel with your ship. It wouldn't be centered on your ship, like immovable with respect to your ship kind of thing. It only works that way out in wild space or in the phlogiston because of your ship's air envelope kind of thing. And your ship is, you know, your ship is acting like a small, you know, it's got its own gravity and it's dragging it along and everything like that, just like a planet would, kind of thing. Now, I mean, there's certainly uses. I'm not discouraging that in any way, but the cloud would stay where you created it as opposed to coming with your ship. And the thing is like, just because the cloud is moving, you're still getting the benefits of them not exactly knowing where the edges of your ship are. So there'd be penalties to hit. And basically, it would function as an increase to your ship's armor class. Same thing happens in wild space. You know, they can see where. Yeah, it is kind of like cover. But the I believe the spells will detail what the effects are. But it means that they can't see specific targets. They can't see the edges, and it's a lot easier for them to fire at. You know, try to fire into the middle of the cloud, but you know, it just goes right over your deck, kind of thing. So.
Okay.
It's one of those. It's one of those things where, and yeah, it would have a problem with cause a problem with helm sight because the ship would be in a fog cloud, and the person on the helm would be seeing the fog, and they'd be able to see through the fog as well as anyone on deck. It's one of those things where, like, especially if you're trying to get away from someone, and you don't have a desire to attack them, or you're going to try and board them, you know, it can be really useful in those situations.
Yeah. Okay. Looking at the logistical thing, I think this is the last thing we need to work out. And it's possible we could work this out on the way. Our ship, the Comet, has crew stats of 4 minimum, 20 maximum.
Mm-hmm.
Our cover story is that we're going from sphere to sphere, so we're not going to have 40 people on the ship. We're not going to be overloading it. Yeah. And the 20 people is going to include us. Yeah. So we're going to be picking who we're going to take with us and keeping it down to the 20, I think.
Okay.
Because it's got to be believable.
And so if you're casting a spell to disguise some members of your crew anyway, you can always like make like you know, Leva and Lafdul and Ockar could just be like crew. They could just look like crew. They don't have to appear to be officers either. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And Lafdul has his hat.
I have granted powers as well.
And that too, yeah.
Is Ockar a problem because he's a paladin?
No, I was just grabbing names. I was just grabbing names.
I was thinking about with the whole sneaky situation. Is that going to be a problem for me?
No, you like especially like there is deception is not uncommon in your culture kind of thing in certain ways. They definitely have to be for honorable ends. So deception for honorable ends is okay for you.
Because Loki and Odin are both trickster gods in their own ways.
Yeah.
And they're two of the highest people in the pantheon.
Yeah.
And technically Tyr kind of tricked Fenrir.
Well, so yes, and that's the thing is like you are 100% willing to take the consequences of your trickery. So Tyr tricked Fenrir knowing he would lose his hand. He knew what would happen. So, but it was still trickery. Kind of thing. So, that's the kind of thing. How that applies in this particular situation is, depends on your personal interpretation and stuff like that. But it is very much the thing of like tricking someone, and like you are absolutely able to lie to the enemy in such a way that makes them all attack you, putting you in mortal danger, possibly even dying, if it means that all your friends are safe, kind of thing.
No wonder I somewhat get along with Lafdul compared to how other paladins would.
Even lawful good characters know that there is sometimes situations that call for a subterfuge.
Yeah, but paladins are still like a level above that. But as a Norse paladin, it is very much one of those things of like you look at the consequences, you know the consequences, you expect those consequences to apply to you. You are not trying to hide from those consequences. You're prepared to take responsibility for that. But you absolutely are willing to use deception to get the ultimate good, get the have honor and stuff like that. So
I just have certain limits to it. Like I'm not going to pretend to be a slaver or something.
Yeah, and that's fine. And again, you can also have personal limits on it as well that are slightly different than the world. But again, like, and there's also a difference between, like, Tyr used trickery, but he didn't lie personally. He didn't say that that no one was going to put the fetter on him. Yeah. Other people said, other people were lying. He was honest. So it's again, like, you can be honest within a deceptive situation as well.
He said, I'm going to put my hand in your mouth, and if something happens, you can bite it off.
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, you can be, like Old said, honest in a dishonest way. For example, if someone asked for how long have you been in the crew from a new person, and they would say that had been hired a week ago, they could say, yeah, I was hired earlier this year. The statement is still true, but a bit misleading.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Okay.
All right. Okay.
So just a couple of asides based on we were talking about fog clouds. Just two things to let everybody know is one, Finn can make them solid.
Nice.
And two, a control wind spell can then blow it around.
Nice. Are you able to do this in while we're flying and hit anything, or is this like super slow?
Well, it would be whatever speed of wind I could generate.
And a lot of it's going to be very situational, depending on exactly what's going on. So
when you make them solid, though, what material do they represent, as in the striking force?
It's still cloud.
But it would be a barrier that another ship wouldn't realize is there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's worth a go.
Slow them down, but not necessarily stop them.
Or
if a ship is
stop them without necessarily destroying them, or something like that.
Yeah. If a ship is chasing us and they crash into a cloud, we don't have to kill the crew.
The actual spell only talks about creatures being caught in the cloud when it solidifies, but it says they make a save versus petrification. Those who succeed escape the cloud in time. Creatures that fail to save become trapped as the cloud solidifies around them. However, as the cloud is porous, they can continue to breathe until the spell's duration elapses.
Oh, cool. How long does it last?
I can get up to 30 turns.
Oh, that would be good if you could do that on a ship, or even on part of a ship.
Yeah,
You could
that's
effectively disable half a ship.
that would effectively disable a pursuing ship if you could get it set up that way.
Yeah, I mean it's your call because it's your spell, but even if it didn't work, it'd be worth the risk.
Oh, I mean, it's something to have in the repertoire, certainly.
Well, the other reason I brought this up is if we do need to travel somewhere and the flitter would be a little too obvious, we can go by cloud.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I solidify a cloud, we get on, I propel it with control winds.
You could also
Nice.
land the flitter on a cloud and propel the cloud around too. So, like if you want to try to get someplace a little bit more, surreptitiously, or try to get a little bit more surreptitiously, you could do it that way.
How fast? I'm reminded of a British TV show called Monkey now, where the guy rides around on a cloud. How fast can you move a cloud? Because, like, if we escape from the prison and we're fleeing, we can just ride a cloud back to the flitter. That might enable us to escape more quickly.
Let's see, control winds. Give me a minute to find that one.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I think a lot of it is regardless of what the speed is, it's one of those things of it's something to consider in potential situations. Like it is one of the many tools at your disposal.
Yeah, like if it could get us across a chasm or a river or some obstacle.
Okay, so it does depend on what the wind currently is.
Oh God, that means I have to work on that. All right, I'll get that list ready.
In the categories of light breeze, moderate breeze, strong breeze, gale, storm, and hurricane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's all the standard weather conditions.
And I can move it by up to 3 categories.
Does it give you a speed based on the categories?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
Nice.
So what you're saying
it gives a range.
if you got a storm going on, you can move it up to hurricane. Oh, I'm sure that'd be fun.
Yeah, well, you got to like strap yourself in because you just fall off or something. Surely.
Yeah, it's always a danger. Anyway, yeah. All right. So I'll make sure that I'm rolling for the wind conditions on any given day. All right. I normally do, but
Finn spells sound amazing. Whether we use them or not is another thing.
So I mean,
they're just very situational.
Yeah, and that's the thing with a lot of spells is that there are so many spells that are absolutely amazing in particular situations.
Yeah.
Now, you can do a combo of fog cloud or obscurement or something like that, or wall of fog, solid cloud, and then control winds, and like lock enemies in, like create a fog cloud, lock the enemies into it, and then push them someplace. Like, I mean, yeah, but that is also 3 rounds at least. So anyway,
yeah,
no, I mean those are good things to have in the arsenal. I would also recommend looking over your your scrolls and stuff like that, not for any particular reason, but just like refresh your memory of what you have, so that if you get into a situation, it might be like, oh, I have this scroll kind of thing. So, all right. So, let's see. Lafdul wanted to get some supplies, it looks like.
I have no idea how expensive cat whiskers are.
Yeah.
Okay, you bringing Behemoth with us?
Hold on a second. Let me just deal with this. So first of all, for any town of moderate size that has wizards and stuff like that, you're always going to be able to get the ingredients for true scene, false scene. So you just deduct them and do what you need to do.
You need to roll how long it takes to age them.
Right. But you can go ahead and deduct them, and then I will start.
Yeah.
Keeping track of
I
that.
assume it's going to be noticeable when they're ready to use, or do I have to roll spellcraft or something? Or
for this, I'm just going to roll and say it's going to take 1 month for the first one, 1 month for the second one, 3 months for the third one, or whatever.
Oh, individually.
So. Right, yeah, I'm going to roll them individually.
As a batch.
No, I'm going to roll them individually. And Elven Cat Whiskers, what spell is that for again?
It's for a scroll, so I don't need that many.
Okay.
I'm looking for like 5, I guess.
What is the scroll?
Thought capture.
Okay, I will say that you can get enough for 3, and that is going to run you 60 gold.
Okay, thank you.
Leva would ask, since she is still researching, she would ask Lafdul if he tells her that he goes for cat whiskers, whether he could get some for her too.
I mean, I might have mentioned my shopping supplies when I'm in an office meeting.
You need Elven Cat Whiskers for a spell as well?
Yes.
I thought you bought a load recently, like 20 or something from the other place.
Not a load. How many did I buy? Just a second. Because I didn't need for more in any case.
Well, if you've got a supply, then my inclination is to say when you get low again, then you can buy more.
All right, I have 20 at the moment.
Yeah, when you get down to like 4 or less, then start thinking about buying more.
It's for cat's grace.
Oh.
I mean, Lafdul should have an interest in that.
Right, but also
I only
like
get +1 to my dex asset.
The ingredients are not good. The ingredients are not going to be super expensive for that, but they're impossible to get in quantity. So, and I think that Lafdul just bought all of them for those scrolls.
Well, those only 3, so
you only need one whisker.
1 whisker per the thing.
Okay.
I need a dower feathers at some point.
Okay.
Leva needs 2.
All right. So, anything anyone else wants to do in preparation for the trip, or just for their own stuff? Ockar, anything for you? Or Solas?
Yeah, I have a.
Okay.
Evard's Black Tentacle is something that I would want to have, since I can give it to Finn for the spell storing ring.
All right. Let's see. So after the 3 days, and the elves have supplied you with your cargo, how many days do you guys want to spend in town? Is there anything else that you want to do?
I would like another 2 days, ideally, in case, because I'd rather not be interrupted. I need like 2 solid days to write a scroll.
Okay.
If I get interrupted, I lose a scroll.
And Leva wants to finish her research.
But you can also finish on the trip, so any amount of time is good for you, kind of thing.
As long as we end up having, from now on, 17 more days. If we get 17 more days together, then yes, she's agreed. Otherwise, she wants more.
Well, I mean, like, you can look at the sphere chart and see how long it's going to take you to get to the planet that you want to go to, and then if you only needed like 1 day there, then that's no sweat off anyone's back to spend a day.
It's about 20 days to Hesperas.
Well, there you go.
Where are we at the moment?
Levalithana.
Right, yeah.
Well, that's just the first check, though.
That's true. All right, so 2 days. Anyone else have anything that they need to do? Solas can head out and ask around because he's done. He'll be done with the logbook by then. Anyone else have anything that they want to do in 2 days? Any objections to 2 days?
It'd just be nice to let the crew have at least 2 days off.
They've also had the previous 3 days too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've been traveling quite a long time.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not just that 2 days. There's also the previous 3 days that they've had as well, just as a side note. I'm not saying one way or the other. Yeah, everyone good with the 2 days at least?
Yeah.
In that case, yes.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right, so you spend 2
So
more
any-
days.
Yeah, I can roll
Finn wouldn't
again.
mind going back out to the clearing one more time then.
All right, then you could do 1 search per day.
Yep. So that's 2 more searches.
All right, Lafdul, you finish that one up, and
Is that scroll full?
it is not.
1 more success.
Wow. I'll make a note if more spells can be scribed on it. Can spells be scribed on it if a spell is used from it? I presume not. Or...
I would say no, because I think that would mess up the magics of the scroll.
For as long as I haven't wrote another spell. Then...
Yeah, I think there's also a time limit, but I'd have to double check.
Yeah, I think there was time limit.
Yeah, I think you have to finish it within like a week or something.
Well, that was the last of my components.
Do you have anything else that you'd be able to scribe on it?
If there's a dower feather about, if there's any dowers, I need some dower feathers that were freely given. Then I can make foot captures on the scroll.
When you say freely given, does that prevent you from buying them from them?
Yeah, because he won't know.
I have...
If he buys them from directly from the
I
shop.
would have to ask for a favour.
What I meant was, you can go up to a Doha trader. Are you allowed to go to a Doha trader and say, I need a Doha feather? And they say, I'll sell you one of my feathers. Would that be against the rules?
Yes, because it has to be freely given.
Right, okay.
Not purchased.
Fair enough.
Now, that does include, like, do a thing for them kind of thing.
And ask a payment as a feather.
Yeah, well, not as a payment. It's like, it's...
An open-ended payment. I will give you something for it, and I choose to have a feather.
It's more, no, it's more if you do something for them, and then they're like, well, thank you, what do you want in return? Then you can ask for it.
Alright.
But if you do it with the already promise of getting a reward, a specific reward, then that's payment. But if you do the thing and then ask for it, and pay, in return, then that's still freely given. Unfortunately, there are no Dohar traders in this.
So Lafdul needs to run around rescuing Dohar children that walk in front of carts and stuff.
Yeah,
in the hope that their grateful parents will say, "How can I possibly repay you?"
Unless there's some ESP of Eye of Argos around, that would be the other one.
I will roll to see if one of those is around. Too bad you didn't keep the eyes of the Argos that you fought a while back, huh?
None of us realised.
Somebody
no,
needs
there's none
to
of those
have
available.
a bottle of pickled eyeballs. So we didn't really decide on our final crew. We
Unless it's a Medusa.
I think we should take either the Dwarven or Gif Marines as a crew.
Well, the number is either 12 if we don't take Behemoth, or 11 if we do take Behemoth. So I asked Ockar before, and then we started talking about something else. Ockar, you taking Behemoth with us?
I think, yeah.
I don't think Behemoth takes crew slot.
He uses up 1 slot of air, water, and food.
He should be using up 2.
If we are...
He's using up 2.
He's using up 2. Okay, sorry. So that means we got 10, right? Our cover story is we're going from sphere to sphere, so we would have 10 crew to be believable, because there's 8 of us. There's Behemoth, and then there's gonna be 10 people. So we've got. Anyone else got a strong preference for the dwarves?
I have a real quick question. It's related, but not directly related. Any of you guys have a spell that you could put on Beowulf so he looks like a normal dog as opposed to a giant wolf?
I would look to Finn for that.
Illusion or like an actual alteration or something like that.
Polymorph other.
I have one that can make him larger.
That can make him what? I'm sorry?
Oh, I can reduce his size.
Animal growth.
Yeah, I can reverse animal growth.
Well, Lever could
But that
reduce
only
his
lasts for 2 rounds of level.
size. Lever could reduce him.
How
So
long does that last?
Go ahead, sorry.
How long would that reduce last, Leva?
Oop, you could put him into your pocket.
No,
Pocket
how long
wolf.
does it last?
Yes, I'm looking.
Make
Sorry.
him look like a chihuahua.
God.
Or a pug. Give him a shave.
Just
No.
one.
Oh, I think it's 5 rounds per level. That's
Oh, we need 5 hour of like mini Beowulf. That's
Alright,
like
so-
a pug or something.
The reason I was bringing that up is because just like having a goblin on board wouldn't necessarily be like, oh my god, you're lying. It would definitely be well, that's weird. I'm going to remember that. Having a giant wolf on board would also be the way.
That makes sense. I think I'm going to leave Abel.
Well, no. So Beowulf could still be useful because you're going to be down on the ground and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just that if you get into a situation where you're going to be like inspected or something like that, having an ability to shrink him down to normal dog size or make him like turn him into a normal dog would at least be like, oh yeah, he's just my pupper kind of thing.
Yeah, do we have any way to do that? Because it seems like any methods seem to be short-term at best.
It might be long enough. I mean, it depends, but yeah, you got 2 possibilities. So
Didn't someone have a hat of disguise? But I
Not going to
assume
work on a
that's not going to
dog.
work on. That's not going to work on Beowulf.
I guess it doesn't work because Beowulf has to think of what he
I
wants
wouldn't
to
trust
look
Beowulf not to chew it up.
He's smarter than you realize.
He also
Beowulf-
spites me.
So polymorph
I
other
assume
would,
anyway.
polymorph other would work if you then dispel it when you're done. Because they don't make a check for changing intelligence, changing what they are, I believe, for like an hour or something like that.
That
Right.
could work.
How much shorter Beowulf would have to be?
Pretty substantially.
Not instead of a horse-like size, down to like a regular dog size. Because he's a giant wolf. He's huge.
Dogs are
You can
size
make
S, not L.
You can make him like Rottweiler size.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter specifically. You just want to make him normal dog-sized.
Yeah.
So something that's going to shrink him, if you've got control over how much you shrink, that would work. And something that will actually change his appearance, either through illusion or through an alteration magic, would work.
Well, Lever could cast could make him look different as an illusion.
But if you're already making an illusion of cargo, then you wouldn't
just
be able to.
make him
Yeah, well,
invisible.
then it won't work. No.
Okay.
Just make him invisible and just hide him somewhere.
Well, does anyone have polymorph other?
Yeah, I like the polymorph other plan. Does anybody actually have access to that spell?
We do have access, but I haven't studied it yet or copied it yet.
Well, that's what I mean is by access, I mean it's known to you, not just...
Well, we do have it on one of our books, but not in our library, so to say.
Yeah, so you don't have the ability to cast it.
Well, you could try and learn it overnight.
I mean,
it.
one option is that whenever we are stopped, I just cast invisibility 10 feet radius on Ockar, and Ockar just flies around with Beowulf when they board us.
You'd hear the
it's
wing
really good.
flapping, you'd have to be quite far away.
I mean, within the air envelope.
The wing flapping would still be audible.
Yeah. I mean, how long would it take you to learn to attempt to learn the spell for Polymorph Other?
I mean,
Oh,
it's
when
just
I-
one day to try to learn it, but there's always chance to fail the learning, and then I would have to research it.
I have.
yeah, I think we should at least give it a chance.
I
Takes
have
up a
another.
spell
Question?
scroll thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a question to Old.
Yeah.
If Leva is researching, can she still learn another spell?
No, because that's taking too much of your concentration.
So it would need to wait until the research is done.
Yeah.
Could still do it. So
I
we have
have-
two chances. We have
sorry.
two chances. Once, if Solas is prepared to try it, then he tries it, and if he fails, then Leva can try it after she's done her research.
It's
I
also
have
a
a-
non-violent way of dealing with enemies, in a manner of speaking.
Braxon,
I
you had a
have.
question?
I have another way we can deal with Behemoth,
All right.
which Ockar may or may not like, and that is we get a crate that we can open easily, and if we have someone approaching us, we put Behemoth in the crate. It's got holes in the crate, and it's got written on the box, "Danger, dangerous animal, do not open," on the crate.
We'd have to have it on our ledgers. They'd at least want to know what it is.
Yeah,
And
so
the other thing is also that like glass and silk, that's like, okay, yeah, everyone's carrying that kind of thing. Dangerous animal? Well, that's weird. I'm going to remember that.
We're trying to make them not remember us.
Also,
yeah.
okay. I'm
No,
just saying it's
yeah,
a possibility.
Right. I'm
if
just
you
I'm
can't
giving
sort out the
but I'm
spell.
giving you the reasons why,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you understand where I'm coming from and where
No,
the
that's cool.
NPCs are coming
That's
from.
cool.
Also, Behemoth is the size of a horse.
That'd be a
It's the size
very
of
big
horse.
crate.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fair
Big
enough.
crate.
Well, you know, if we're just worried about somebody remembering something, that tea I happen to be working on would take care of that.
Yeah.
We just invite them for tea.
Is that a guarantee to work? Or
They get a save versus poison.
yeah,
It's certainly a possibility.
That box thing, if we decide that it's part of the cargo, then it can be included in the illusion. So whether the Behemoth is inside or not, it would still be part of the cargo. It wouldn't look any different.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to disguise his sounds and his smell.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
A horse that
Well,
goes woof.
Spectral Force does disguise.
It doesn't
everything.
disguise; it creates.
Just a moment.
Just to give Ockar all the information about Polymorph Author, Behemoth would have to roll a System Shock roll when it's
he wouldn't be
subjected
willing.
with Polymorph Author.
Mm. The Spectral Force spell creates an illusion in which sound, smell, and thermal illusions are included.
Right, but you can't create the illusion of an absence of smell.
Oh, what about this? Hey,
Okay.
So
Here's an idea.
but like, but real fast. So basically, like, if there's a mild smell, you could create an illusion of a stronger smell that covers it. You could do that, but you can't create the illusion of no smell.
Okay.
So just, you know, and same thing, like, you can't create the illusion of no sound. So if Behemoth is panting, or if he's you know, making other wolf sounds in a crate, which is, again, it would have to be a really big crate, then you'd have to create sounds that are louder than that to cover it, as opposed to create an illusion of an absence of sound.
So I didn't realize it's quite that big.
No, it's fine.
So, I thought maybe we should go for one of the reduced spell plans, whichever one lasts longer, and I'll just keep it in my cloak pocket or something.
I was thinking
I'll
you could also just
him
make
his.
him
do that spell that Solas did on me when we were in that golem cave, when we do ethereallessness, because we're in wild space. That spell should work.
How long does the reduce last?
You could try it. You could make him go ethereal, yeah.
How long
Because
will etherealness last? Because I know that the reduce, at least Leva's, was 5 rounds every level.
Yeah, and Finn's is 2 rounds per level.
But mine only makes him half as big as he was.
Half as big would be a big dog, but still dog-sized.
Etherealness would be 19 rounds.
I think Leva's spell's the one that's going to last the longest because it's like 11th, 12th level.
Do remember that there's
The wild mage.
random...
Target is disintegrated.
It's
So,
still,
right. So, real fast. What I would say is that you've got multiple possibilities, and you can, depending on who has done what or who needs to do what in any given situation, it means that someone else can do something. So, like, if Leva is already concentrating on an illusion, then Finn can use his spell to shrink Beowulf. Or Solas can make Beowulf go ethereal with himself or with you or something, however well else that would work. Doesn't matter right now. And again, if Finn and Solas are busy, well, actually, you don't have anything, right, Lafdul?
No, not really.
Could Lafdul
No.
cast invisibility?
No.
I have Pixie Dust, but that's a very expensive spell for me to cast.
Otherwise, he can only make himself invisible. But
Okay.
Leva could make... Well, so again, like... I'm just saying that there's a bunch of possibilities here. You don't need to choose one right now. If you're
Okay.
prepared, you've got, you know... If the others are okay with it, or as long as someone has something, then you're probably in a pretty good position. We'll put it that way.
Well, can I at least make a request that we have the 3 options open by them preparing the reduces and the etherealness, so we can have options for when it happens, and we go with whoever's able to do it.
Shame you don't have, like, Spider Climb, cast it on Beowulf, get Beowulf to go on the underside of the ship.
Is that good with you guys?
That would be possible.
You could always softwood him.
How long
let's
does Spider Climb last? I mean, Leva has that.
Right, so, I mean, again, the problem, though, is that, like, hiding is good, but you need to take into account other things. Like, if Spider Climb, he'd still be perfectly visible if someone is just, like, looks around or something like that, looks on the hull. Invisibility is great unless someone smells or hears him. So, like, again, all of these things are possibilities. It just depends on the situation and what you're looking at. You could have, like, Ockar could get onto Beowulf, get invisibility 10-foot radius cast on him, and he goes over the side and just bobs up and down in the gravity plane. But again, you're still looking at a limited time. If it's going too long, he'd have to start flapping his wings to get back into, to stay in the air envelope and stuff like that. So again, like, you've got a lot of options. Don't set yourselves to one, but just keep them all in mind, depending on the situation.
If you reduce his size and put him in a cabin and said, don't go in that cabin, there's a guard dog in there.
Well, he could just be a big dog. Someone's big dog.
Be a big
their
dog.
pet, you know?
Yeah, that kind of works.
Yeah.
So just to have the multiple options open if everyone's available. And if someone needs to, like, they're like, I need a 3rd level spell to do something else, and this is a 3rd level spell, you still have the other options available. So, I think you've got enough options available to yourself. Okay, let's see. So, Lafdul spent his 2 days. Leva, did you get the 2 days applied to your research?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to do before you set off? Are you ready? Do you want to do anything else?
I
Oh,
was
right.
looking for the spell.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did roll for that. That's right. You do find someone who is willing to trade you that. Do you have any? What rare spells of the same level do you have?
Named or other.
Anything. If it's not in the player's handbook or one of the other big books, that will probably work pretty well.
Mordegainen's Electric Arc.
Anything else?
Upka's Superior Identification.
Oh, he'll take that.
Almost every wizard will take that spell.
Yeah.
All right, so you spend a day studying that spell, and go ahead and make your learn roll.
That's good enough.
Okay, and then roll for the number of pages. Okay.
Accidentally D4.
Oh, yeah, that's the wrong die.
It's even better.
All right. Okay, so you have that
then,
spell to put into Finn's ring.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
put it in Finn's ring.
All right, you can just do that on the first leg of your travel kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else that you guys, anyone else wants to do before you leave? No? You guys all good then?
Solas would buy some spell components, but those I can, since they are something that spell components that are available in the big cities.
Yeah, if there's normal spell components that you want, you can go ahead and just deduct them, and you can do that in between sessions. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just, of course, keep volumes reasonable.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to be buying hundreds of things.
Okay, so with that, you are ready to set off.
Actually,
Yep.
I would like to see if there's one more spell.
You probably are not going to have time. Because it took a while asking around to find that one, and then you had to spend a considerable amount of time studying it and learning it.
Pity.
All right. Okay, so the elves will refresh your water and food up to your ship's normal maximum if you're below that.
Oh, I thought of something.
Mhm.
But it's not something Braxon can do. Braxon will talk to Leva and say, do you have enough time to get to know someone here that you can communicate with?
She does not, because she's been...
Oh, she's learning stuff, isn't she?
Yeah, she's researching.
But she could communicate with Linnaeus, probably, or someone on our ship when we leave it behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's familiar with our ship.
Yeah.
And the people on it.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, the one last thing which we can probably deal with between this week and next week is who we take with us on the comet.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you have the time, so definitely take this this week to decide who you're going to take. Okay. So when we come back next week, we're gonna get underway. You're gonna head over to Hesperus first. That is an icy world with a rocky ring, a broad rocky ring around it.
Nice.
And then from there, you'll head into Talarn.
And there's ice elves that live on the icy world.
Snow elves. Get the name right. They will stab you with a spear if you don't. Just kidding.
Snow elves. Okay.
All right. There are other races that live on that world as well, but they're no like cities. They're no real ports.
So we can't trade with the snow elves.
I mean, you could try, but
No,
you might not
at
have
best.
a whole lot.
It's just I've heard there's no business like snow elf business.
You're fired. Get out right now. No, I'm just kidding. Like there are other like there are humans down there, but they live kind of like a nomadic Arctic lifestyle kind of thing. And there's some dwarves on some of the mountains. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong about the humans. They are still like they don't build cities and stuff like that, but they like do fishing and stuff like that from the shore and stuff like that. But there's no cities. Even the snow elves, and the dwarves, they tend to live in small communities. The dwarves do mining. They do have some trade with the dwarves in orbit, but the nature of the world does not lend itself well to large settlements, we'll say.
Yeah, it sounds like there's probably nothing for us to buy on the way back. And on the way back, we probably want to just link up and get going.
Probably. You're like
in case we're pursued.
Well, yeah, but also like just to get your rescuee back to the elves as quickly as possible, so that plans can start being made from there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I want to thank you guys for playing. Let's get some XP out. Lafdul, that was did you have one scroll done or 2 scrolls?
2 scrolls.
Okay.
2 curates moderates.
That is going to be... Let me take a quick look. Hold on a second.
Braxon writes in his personal journal that he's upset because Solas chopped down a tree and didn't invite him.
Oh no. Let's see.
That's because the tree wasn't for ship usage.
Yeah.
All right, so that is going to be 2,000 XP for your priest, Lafdul.
My priest. Yeah.
Right. And everyone else gets 500 XP.
Wait, 2,000?
Yeah, 2,000.
I thought it was 200.
Yeah, I think I decided to treat the scroll XP as the same as researching a spell.
Right.
I think it's better that way.
500.
Otherwise, 500.
And Braxon, you get an extra 100.
Oh, okay.
Finn, an extra 100 as well.
And what was the overall number?
500, so 600 for you.
Okay.
And same for Ockar, 100 extra for a total of 600. I'm assuming no one is going up a level from that.
No.
Yeah, strangely enough, Braxon isn't leveling up again yet.
Yeah.
No, not for a long while.
All right, so I want to thank you guys for playing, and as a reminder for all of those of you out there, we are currently working our way towards 150 subpoints. If I get there, we will be playing Spelljammer Pirates of Realm Space on stream, because it is September and subs are cheaper right now. We are currently sitting at 95 subpoints, so keep that in mind through the rest of the month. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. I want to thank you players for playing. I really do appreciate it. It was a good time today. And we will be back next week to get the journey going.
Thanks for the game.
See y'all later.
Thanks for
Watch
watching,
the game.
everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
See you next time, everyone.